Hello, I have come to Chalfonton-de-Latimer station in the northwest corner of the tube map, and Chalfonton-Latimer is one of 10 TfL operated or served stations that have an ampersand in their name. And so in this video, I'm going to try and travel to all 10 in the fastest time possible. It's time to do the ampersand challenge.
This is an all-station Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Chorleywood.
And we're off.
The next station is Northwick Park.
Right then. Northwick Park, just got off. Now got what should be a 5-minute walk. I'll probably do it in 4 because long legs. Okay.
This is a Lioness Line train to Watford Junction.
It's interesting because when I was researching doing this journey and looking at the different routes, I looked at going to Harrow-on-the-Hill and getting an SL9 bus because it's the express Superloop service, you know, that skips a bunch of bus stops, which would be really cool. Except when I looked it up, it basically would have taken the same amount of time, you know, because of when the schedules run. But yeah, so yeah, I'm just going to stay on the 140 here. An interesting fact about Harrow and Wealdstone. So Harrow and Wealdstone, mainly it's there to serve Wealdstone town. You know, that's the town. Okay, but the people who built the station put Harrow in the name. Okay, because Harrow was the biggest settlement, and so they're like, we want people to use our station more because, you know, money. Okay, and so that's why it's Harrow and Wealdstone. It's mainly for Wealdstone, that's the place it serves. But yeah. So I seem to be in a bit of a not ideal situation. You see, I had planned to get the 140 down over to here to Hayes and Harlington, okay, but because it was so delayed, okay, and nice. Okay. And yeah, so I had wanted to get the 1329, but I've missed that. The next one was delayed by a few minutes, so I can still get that to Heathrow. Okay. But it does sort of mean that my plan at Heathrow to get back into London is a little bit scuppered. I mean, I could take the Heathrow Express, but that's really expensive, and I don't want to do that. Okay, and my original plan was to go to Feltham, okay, and get a Southwestern train to Waterloo. The problem is that because of the service pattern, I think that the next one is going to be a slower stopping train which I don't know. I'm gonna work out what I need to do. The other thing I'm gonna mention now is that I probably won't do much filming at Heathrow because it's an airport. I know I'm not actually in the airport, but I don't want to get told off for filming, yeah. So, yeah, there probably won't be much footage at Heathrow. I might take a photo or two. We'll see. So I didn't have a chance to film anything at Heathrow, and also didn't want to, but here is a photo of the sign at Heathrow Terminals 2 and 3, just to prove that I did in fact visit the station, and also here is the timestamp, just to prove that I did actually visit it, in case any of you thought I was lying, but I wasn't. Okay, so what I realised was that there was a Shenfield-bound Elizabeth line train on the other platform at Heathrow. Okay, and it happens to be one that's skipping a bunch of stops, which means I'll get into Paddington a little bit faster than I initially expected. And what that means, I don't know how much I'm back on track, no pun intended, but definitely better off than if I had gone to Feltham. So, yeah. This is good. Okay, so while I walk to the Bakerloo line, I'm going to take the opportunity to discuss Hayes and Harlington and Heathrow Terminals 2 and 3, because I didn't get to do that because of timing and all that, and rushing. Okay, but Hayes and Harlington station has the Ampersand, because obviously it serves both Hayes and Harlington. Okay, Hayes Town I think is a little bit closer, and Harlington is sort of an airport village kind of thing. There's a lot of airplane things going on there. Okay, what's interesting about Hayes and Harlington though is that in the UK there is a suburban station in South London called Hayes, and in Bedfordshire there's a station called Harlington. So you could, in theory, make a journey between Hayes and Harlington, and then Harlington, which I mean, maybe I'd be doing that at some point. I don't know, maybe I will. I'd like to. Okay. Anyway, in regards to Terminals 2 and 3 at Heathrow, the station used to be Heathrow Terminals 1, 2, 3, but then because Terminal 1 was shut down, they removed that from the name of the station, and thus giving us Heathrow Terminals 2 and 3. So that's what's going on with the names there. So, yeah. Anyway, made it to the Bakerloo line, and got an Elephant and Castle train in 2 minutes. And now I get about 20 odd minutes on the worst trains on the TfL network. Yeah, let's be honest, these are the worst. Alright, Elephant and Castle. Now, we run up to the Northern Line platform. Which, there we go. Not too far at all. There's the Ampersand. And the Northern Line train's coming in about 1 minute, I believe. So, it's all good. And why is it called Elephant and Castle? Well, famously, it's named after the pub that's just outside. Okay, why that's called the Elephant and Castle, we're not so sure. Okay, there's talk that it's that one of the landlords wanted to name it after some settlers or something, I don't know. Anyway, there's my train. Okay. We're at King's Cross and St Pancras, because it is King's Cross and St Pancras. They haven't updated the in-carriage announcement because, you know, effort and marketing. Okay. But no, it is. If you look at the tube map, it does say King's Cross and St Pancras, and frankly, it should have said that for a very long time, because King's Cross and St Pancras are two completely separate stations, you know, for national rail services. Okay, and so yeah, this should have happened a long time ago. Okay, Hyber in Islington, number 8 in my Ampersand challenge, and I'm heading for the Mildmay line to go westbound to Finchley Road and Frognall. When I was at Hyber in Islington, I think I said 8th station on this journey. I meant 7th because I had forgotten about Caledonian Road and Barnsbury. And at this point of the video, I tried to record a bit of exposition about why it's called Caledonian Road and Barnsbury, but there were other people on the train and they were talking, so I couldn't. But basically, the station opened as Barnsbury Station, but they changed the name to Caledonian Road and Barnsbury in 1893 because Caledonian Road was there, and it's a bigger attraction, I guess. So Finchley Road and Frognall. Okay, I think this is another case of competing railway companies naming stations very similarly, but different enough that legally it's all right. Okay, because I mean this is Finchley Road and it's a very busy main road with a lot of shops that you're going to want to do shopping here a lot of the time. And yeah, I think that it's because there's the Metropolitan and Jubilee line stations, station just a little bit, 2-minute walk that way, and I think that one must have opened first. The people who opened Finchley Road and Frognall wanted to call it Finchley Road, obviously couldn't, so added the Frognall in as well, because this area is Frognall. Also, something interesting that I realised when I was on the train just now.
The next station is Finchley Road, Frognall. Change here for London Underground and Finchley Road Station.
They tell you that you can change for the Metropolitan line at Finchley Road, but not the Jubilee line. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, why they don't want to use the Jubilee line, I don't know. It happened, it's a thing there. Oh, well, getting on this over to Finchley Central, and we'll get a Northern Line, a few stops up to Totteridge and Whetstone, and then that's where we'll end. So yeah, using the side entrance to Finchley Central. Although it is interesting to note that the road that I'm on is actually called Station Road, which would suggest it's the main entrance, but that's on the other side. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, although I wouldn't be surprised if it was a case of this was the original entrance, and then when they realised that the other side needed more attention, as in, you know, people were trying to go that way more, but they went, oh okay, we should probably put an entrance on that side instead, and then that became the main one that people used.
This is the Northern Line train, terminating at High.
Just as I got to the platform, the train was there. Cool. As the train leaves, so there we have it, 4 hours, 20 minutes and 59 seconds, right before the turnover. That's mad. There we go. Totteridge and Whetstone, this station does actually serve the villages, towns, areas, I don't know what you call them, areas of Totteridge and Whetstone. Okay, and yeah, there we go. There's all 10 Ampersand stations all ticked off, and I do think you could do this a couple of minutes faster. I think it all depends on the bus services and how frequent they are, and whether they're running at the right frequency, you know, and whether there's a delay and all that business. So I do think you could knock off maybe 10-15 minutes, something like that. I'm not sure. Okay, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with 4 hours 20. Okay, 4 hours 20 is not a bad time. And yeah, there we go. That's that. That's where I'll end the video. As always, if you enjoyed it, then hit like, hit subscribe, do all the things, and I'll catch you in the next one.